It is the Guys MMA podcast. We have Petr Yan versus Dvalishvili coming up in Vegas 71. First, we got to recap 285. Oh, look, Jones is back. Jones is back. Jones is back.
Yeah, he showed up. I'll give him that.
Jones
he made it look pretty easy.
Jones is back. Jones is back to where Surreal almost didn't look like he knew what to do. Like, it was almost like he was kind of confused in the fight.
Standing, it looked like it could have been an interesting fight, but as soon as it went to the ground, you already know what you're getting with Jones. So it was kind of surprising to see him fold that quick. And when I say fold, he was like,
yeah,
his arm was under his chin, and he's like up against the cage, so he has nowhere to go. I mean, he had no other option but to tap, and that was just a smart submission on his part. So.
Right. With that being said, feels like essentially everything went according to plan, especially as this podcast is concerned, everything. With the exception of Grasso and Shevchenko, Grasso got that choke out. What happened there?
She shocked me and everybody else, I'm sure, because nobody was expecting that to play out the way that it did. And to say that the submission from behind was like a surprise, you know, you can't plan for a storyline like that. So that makes for a good rematch. I just think she caught her slipping, and she wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
And typically you don't see Valentina getting in those positions to where she's not comfortable. And I just think that was just a millisecond slip up, and there she was, tapping.
Yeah. And I know, like, as far as everybody's money is concerned with the UFC, everybody was on Shevchenko. And, I mean, her odds were so huge that you couldn't bet her straight up. So you had to kind of deep dive and to figure out a way of decision or what round or situations like that, or parlay her with just other fighters. And I know that Grasso just tore all kinds of people's tickets up, and Vegas was loving it.
Oh, man, I guarantee whoever was putting money on Shevchenko was salty.
Yeah.
Saltier than beef jerky, man.
Remote through the TV for sure.
To be honest, though, can we talk about her striking? I mean, she was hanging with Shevchenko, no problem.
Yeah.
And she had her on her heels. It was kind of crazy how she was just standing in the pocket with her, like she was unafraid of what she offers. But, you know, it was cool to see.
Yeah.
Somebody stood up to her, and, you know, now she's not complacent. Now you know that there's a little bit of a fire under her ass because she lost, and she doesn't lose often. So she's ready to get that loss avenged. And I would say I can't wait to watch it. So.
Yeah, I mean, all credit due to Grasso. We can say that Shevchenko kind of got caught slipping, man, but credit to Grasso too, man. Can't take it away.
Yeah, no, nothing. Not to take anything away from her.
You took it away.
Hell of work.
You took it away.
Your mom took it away.
She's a nice lady. Bo Nickal
so great.
is the other
Love you, Mom.
that I have of the other note that I have from the 285s. Bo Nickal is next up. He is a monster.
I told you, dude. Like, you know, it seems like the hype's real around this kid, and he made it super easy. Got the submission, and say I'm not surprised. That's 3 out of 4 wins. So.
Yeah, you sold me on him. I mean, all credit due to you. I wasn't going to head in that direction. He was like, nah, Bo Nickal is the truth. And the truth he is. Good read, good call. We will definitely be telling that kid, hopefully for the longevity of his career, man. It looks like he's going to be around.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready for the next one.
For sure. Vegas 71. The last time you heard me say Merab's last name was the last time you're going to hear me say it. Petr Yan versus Merab Dvalishvili. I had it a second ago. Let's dive into it. Snap Tap.
Dvalishvili.
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 We'll keep saying it because it's going to be our snap. So go ahead and hit it again.
I think 3 was enough.
Dvalishvili. So,
Dvalishvili.
Yan Dvalishvili is going to be our snap. I do have to say before we dive into this fight that Nurmagomedov was going to be the snap. Oh no.
That's what he said.
Yeah, I
Saeed?
lost Wi-Fi. I lost.
That's
I
what
lost
he
Wi-Fi for a second.
Saeed. See what I
So,
did there?
hey, side note for the viewers, I'm not going to edit this. I know I just looked like a deer in headlights. So, with the storms that came through the southeast, Midwest, Wi-Fi is jacked up. So, my Wi-Fi is jacked up. So, we're
Just hang in there and be screwed up again tomorrow.
Yeah. Martinez versus Nurmagomedov. Yeah. So, he looks way too Amish to me. And Martinez looks way too Bruno Mars to me for either one of them to be like extremely intimidating. Had to relieve them of their snap duties. I wanted to be the snap. I lost by split decision on that decision. So we're going with Petr Yan versus Merab.
Yeah, his track record isn't good on decisions either. But yeah, no. So we got Petr Yan, 16-4. I mean, he's an awesome fighter. You know, he had the illegal knee of Aljamain Sterling, current champ, and last time he fought to avenge that loss, he lost that fight. So he's been kind of on a rough patch. So I look for him to come in with a fire underneath of him and be ready to just tear into Dvalishvili. Yeah, Dvalishvili is typically a decision fighter. He has 11 decision wins. I don't really see him closing the show on this one, but I do see him being there as far as energy goes. Gas tank wise, he looks like he's going to be able to go to the distance all 5 rounds. So it's going to be a fun fight. Petr Yan never disappoints. He has great crispy boxing, like Colonel's recipe. And I can't wait to see him break off a couple of drumsticks for
him. Heard that. I co-sign support and back all of that snap. Although Martinez, Nurmagomedov, if they just looked a little bit tougher, they might have made the cut. Moving on to tap. I could just jump straight into the photo vault for this one. We're going to reuse this one. Spann versus Krylov for tap. I got to note that when we did this 2 weeks ago, it would have been our tap a couple weeks ago, barring the record. But Munez and Allen, man, they just had the edge, right? Doing the
they were submachines that night. I mean, you just couldn't touch them.
Yeah.
Especially Munez. I mean, wow.
Right.
Wow. Impressive.
Comparing the resumes, we couldn't. But anyways, back to it. Krylov, Spann, go ahead.
Well, this one's easy to call as a tap because both gentlemen possess double-digit numbers in the submission column, even higher than their knockout ratios, which is kind of surprising given their size and the division that they're in, but they tend to be grapplers by nature. Now, that's not saying Super Dud can't get it done on his feet both ways, knockout or submission. So I don't think this is going to be an easy fight for either guy because both of them are coming in with the mindset like this is going to be a war. We're going to be on the mat and we're going to be hugging it out. But one of us is just going to hug just a little bit better than the other.
Just a little bit tighter.
Yeah, and put him right to sleep. So it's a lullaby old as time.
Right. Yeah. Like you mentioned, man, the resumes just line up and would have been a tap a couple weeks ago, but had they a fight, but they didn't. This one.
No, they catch that notorious UFC stomach bug those main event fighters get.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to knock my boy Derek Lewis, but he's been hit with it twice. And I don't know if it's really a bug or not.
It's the dehydration bug. For our
He gets the boo-boo bug.
For our nap, I'm so excited about this fight. We got the battle of the thick boys, Volkov versus Romanov. in the Battle of the Alexanders. So both of them are named Alexander, but Romanov is missing an E at the end of his name. So I think if he wins this fight, he gets that. I'm not sure. I have to follow up with Dana. I'll give him a call after this. But I think that's how that works. Volkanov, Romanov, and our NAB, the Battle of the Thick Boys.
Yeah, that was a little bullet point in the contract. It's a battle for the East, you know.
Yeah.
Who's the real Alexander? We'll find out.
We'll see who the greatest is.
That being said, Alexander Volkov, the one with the current one with the E,
right,
has 23 knockouts on his resume. To say that this dude has thunder from every direction is not even doing that justice.
Right.
Not only does he have these, he's got shin bones the size of a small sapling. And when he gets those things moving, it's like a Louisville Slugger upside your head. And if he connects, it's a home run, baby. So I look for both of these guys to just stand and duke it out. But the one without the E, Alexander Romanov, has 9 submissions on his resume. So can't overlook that fact.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to give credit where it's due. He does have 6 KOs, but most of his wins are by submission and decision. So if we're talking about who's closing the show, I'm thinking Alexander Volkov gets it done as long as he can stay out of his arms, getting that love squeeze. I think he gets the Louisville Slugger tuned up and ready to let hell fly over the fence.
Yeah. Deep drive to left field. And that's why he got the extra E, because, he's got the tree trunk for legs and the Louisville Slugger.
He's earned his E, man. Yeah, he's fought some big names in the heavyweight division, and, 35 wins. You got to give him credit.
Yeah. And he's a big.
That's a division where anybody can walk in and get knocked the fuck out. So.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw up the heavyweights movie tag again because I love that movie and it completely fits the narrative here. 285. I am still exhausted from it. Like leading up to it, all the excitement, all the hype, watching the card again, watching the highlights. Jones is back.
Yeah.
That was exciting, and it feels like we're not like. Again, we were in 5th gear Saturday night. We're not dropping back to like 2nd or 3rd gear. Like we're still in the high gear, man. This is a really good card.
Yeah, so far so good. I'm really kind of excited about the card after this, if I'm being 100% honest. Because guess who's on it?
Who's that? I haven't looked.
The Georgian, Roman Dolidze.
He's back.
Yes,
baby.
Sir. He's back, and he's got a hell of a fight coming up. I ain't going to spoil it this week. We'll get into it next week afterward. But it's going to be an interesting card as well.
Right on. This was Vegas 71 preview, the 285 recap. Shout out to the tens and tens of viewers that watched last week and for coming back. We appreciate you guys. Tens and tens times 16. We had a lot of views, man. We appreciate you guys that likes, comments. Here's the thing. If you're going to watch, comment. If you're going to comment, like it. If you don't like it, say in comments that you don't like it. I want you to not like it enough that you're commenting saying that we suck. At least.
Tell us we suck.
Yeah.
Have the huevos, the cojones, if you will.
The cojones.
Tell us where we're getting it wrong. If you want it better, we will oblige. But you got to let us know.
It is the Guys MMA podcast.
Appreciate not the girls.
Watching.